In this video, I want to discuss the main criteria of what I actually look at when I am going to either purchase an existing business or purchase a facility or starting something from scratch. And these criteria are absolutely important simply because it's going to ultimately dictate how successful the facility is actually going to be once it's actually operational, or how an operator is going to do at the facility, whether I'm leasing that location out to a potential operator. Now, again, these are absolutely critical things that I look at. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys continue to show the channel. If you have not yet, make sure to go check out the God Made podcast on most streaming platforms. Also, feel free to go check out Legion Assisted Living Academy, and feel free to also check out the link down below for the mentorship call if you are looking to book a one-on-one mentorship with myself. Also, if you have not yet, make sure to go check out ALF Ventures.com, and this is for any of the limited partners out there looking to passively invest in this industry. We would love to work with you and have a discussion of the potential investment opportunities that we have to offer. Also, for any operators looking to actually expand their business or potentially sell their facility, feel free to reach out to us on ALFVentures.com as well. And also, if anyone that you know or yourself may be looking for a loved one for placement in the Phoenix metro area, we also handle that at ALFVentures.com. So feel free to go check us out there. Check us out on Instagram as well at ALF Ventures to be able to get any kind of updates on any of the projects that we're currently working on. And so with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Now, many of you have asked me and continue to ask me, what are the main things that I look at when I'm looking in a specific zip code or in a specific city? And what I actually think is a great criteria to keep in mind when looking at a facility. So the first thing I'm actually going to start off with is the population of a certain city or a sub area of a city or even a zip code. Why do I look at the population? Well, the population is very important because within a certain population of a city or a zip code, you're going to have a percentage of those individuals who are actually going to be the people that you are going to market to and actually utilize to be able to place any of their loved ones. Now, again, the population number that I like to look at, whether it be a city or a zip code, is 100,000. That's kind of a good number to go off of. And a percentage of that, 15 to 20% of that, those individuals will actually be the individuals that are going to be in your home or in your facility. And a bigger percentage of that will be of the individuals who are going to be, the loved ones of these clients or residents that are going to be in your facility. And so that is why I like to use the number 100,000, because that number of population is a good number, a healthy number for the demand that you're going to need in order to start placing. Now, another thing to keep in mind with that is the number of facilities that are going to be in your zip code or within a 10-minute radius of your facility. Now, the number that I like to look at is anywhere between 5 to 15 facilities, meaning if there's anything less than 5 facilities in a zip code or even in a city or area that I'm looking to potentially either purchase an existing facility or start something from scratch. The reason why I don't like anything less than 5 facilities in a certain area is simply because there's probably not enough demand in that area. Now, you want to have at least between 5 up to 15 facilities in a certain zip code or in a certain area, simply because, and these got to be facilities within around the same size of the facility that you're trying to start, right? So don't think of big box facilities. Those don't typically count in the residential setting. Typically it's anywhere from 5 to 20 beds. So you want to have at least 5 to 15 of those types of facilities within your area. And why do I say that? Simply because there's plenty of demand if there's that many facilities. Where it starts to get really saturated is when it starts going above 15 facilities within a 10-minute to 20-minute radius of your facility. If there's more than that, typically that's oversaturated, meaning there's probably there will still be demand there, but it is going to be a lot more competitive, and you're going to have to come in and really change things up compared to how all those other facilities are doing things. If you come in and you're doing the standard stuff that those facilities are doing, offering the same amenities, the same services, there's nothing that makes you stand out, you're really going to struggle, because typically those facilities have been there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So in order for you to really even get any kind of market share, it's going to be really hard. So if you're going to be in an oversaturated area, you're going to really want to have a strong healthcare background. You're going to really want to offer above and beyond, and you might have to specialize within a specific niche, meaning you're probably going to need to specialize in Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, something completely different than what all these other facilities have to offer. Because typically these other facilities that have been there for a long period of time will probably offer all types of different services and cater to a wider audience of people. So just keep that in mind. But typically what I like to see is anywhere from 5 to 15 facilities within a 10 to 20 minute radius. Now, these are absolutely critical things to keep in mind when you're going to start a facility. Now, if there's absolutely no competition, that should worry you. That shouldn't be something like, oh, I'm not going to go in that area, or I'm going to go in this area and I'm going to tap into it. I'm going to take over as much market share as possible. I'm going to be the first one that does it. You may end up being the first one, but there's typically a reason why people don't start facilities in certain areas. Typically it's because demand is not there, or the rates are going to be too low for you to really be profitable enough to make it worth your while. So typically that's why people don't go in certain areas, especially rural areas. Don't bother with really rural areas. Obviously, it's really hard. Typically, big box facilities go in the most rural areas, but even in the suburban areas and even in the most suburban areas, you're going to have a lot more of these facilities. So you kind of have to balance it out. For instance, I'll give an example. There's a zip code here. It's the A5254 zip code here in Phoenix/Scottsdale. Now, the reason why that zip code is so saturated and why so many people are pulled to that zip code is because it's Scottsdale address, but Phoenix zoning. Phoenix zoning is a lot more lenient when it comes to actually getting the certificate of occupancy, getting things pushed through, getting the fire inspections, so on and so forth. So that's why people really love that zip code. And it's also in a very prominent area of Scottsdale. It's in North Scottsdale. And so there's a lot of care homes in that area, at least I would say 25 to 30 facilities within each other. And that's a problem, right? There's oversaturation. And a lot of people have done really good jobs of going over the top in those areas with their facilities, specializing in specific niches, right? You can still be successful, but again, it's oversaturated. There's a lot of competition and a lot of options for families in that area. So that just gives you a perfect example. Again, what I like to tell people is you want to focus on an area that has a large enough population. And the third criteria I would talk about here in a second. But before I do, again, it's the population, at least 100,000 or more. Also, you want to make sure you're within 10 to 20 minutes with 5 to 15 facilities. And the third criteria is the average income of that specific area. Now, it really comes down to the type of rates you're going to charge. What I like to tell people, in order to charge above average of the national rate here in the US, which is typically $4,200 to $4,500, in order to charge that, the average income within your area needs to be at least 6 figures, at least 100,000. So keep that in mind when you guys go to actually purchase an existing business or facility, or if you're looking to start one from scratch. These are the main criteria that I look at right off the bat. That's free research that you can actually do within your zip code and figure out exactly, okay, do all these things get checked off? If so, you're probably in a really good area. It's probably worth you actually looking at that and moving forward. So hopefully this provided you all a ton of information. And if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure if you want to book a one-on-one mentorship call with myself, you could do that in the link down below. It'll also be on my website, legionassistedlivingacademy.com, where you can actually purchase the course or even book a one-on-one with me. Also, I do have my Patreon. You could go join that. It's $10 a month, so feel free to go check that out. And also, if you have not yet, make sure to go check out valleyalfventures.com and also check us out on Instagram. And without all that being said, I will talk to you all in the next one. God bless.